Hi, I'm Mr. Recap. Today I'm going to explain to you an American epic science fiction film called Avatar: The Way of Water. More than 10 years after the occasions of the principal film, the film starts with Jake Sully portraying his humble and serene life as head of the Omadakaya tribe and raising a family with his significant other Neytiri, which incorporates his children Neteyam and Loic and his little girl Tuk. His embraced little girl Kiri, brought into the world from Elegance Augustine's sluggish Navi symbol, and a human kid named Bug, the child of Miles Quaritch, who was brought into the world on Pandora yet couldn't be moved to Earth in cryostasis as a baby. While Jake can acknowledge Insect as a took-on child, Neytiri is skeptical of him given his human beginnings. In any case, every one of the youngsters blend and mingle well with one another, including Bug, whom Kiri is warm with despite the fact that he is a human. Insect doesn't embrace his human legacy and feels more lean to Navi culture and customs. They have a typical existence until one day they notice a bizarre star in the night sky. Sadly, they understand it's a RDA space transport with people getting back to Pandora to colonize it, raising another really working base once more, making huge obliteration Pandora. Among the fresh debuts in the boat is Colonel Quaritch, who has been cloned into a Navi body and with his recollections transferred from before his passing. Subsequently, Quaritch can't recall his destruction on account of Jake, however is simply ready to remember the occasions before in his wrathful mission to kill Jake. To keep the RDA from taking advantage of Pandora once more, Jake drives an essential guerrilla activity against the RDA supply lines, debilitating them. In one of the tasks, Loic, who defies Neteyam and is anxious to show what him can do as a Navi champion, attempts to help Jake in fight yet is injured. Jake protects and trains him to not imperil his own well-being by being wild. That evening, while at the same time keeping an eye on his injuries, Neytiri smoothly reminds Jake to be not excessively unforgiving with Loic, to which Jake communicates his anxiety as a dad for the security of his kids. In the interim, the retaliatory strike on the RDA supply lines doesn't agree with Quaritch, who starts a pursuit mission to kill Jake. During a perky endeavor, Jake's kids alongside Insect investigate further into the rainforest. Unbeknownst to them, Quaritch and his group are in the area investigating the site where Quaritch finds his human remaining parts. A perceptive Loic sees their presence and rapidly illuminates Jake. A clash follows and Quaritch's crew catches Jake's kids. Jake and Neytiri show up in time and free a large portion of them, yet Bug is taken by Quaritch, who remembers him as his child. On board the boat, the RDA attempts to constrain data about Jake from Insect, whom declines. Evolving procedure, Quaritch tends to Bug as his child and furthermore to make sense of more about the Navi in return for his opportunity on his side. In spite of the fact that unagreeable and ignorant about Quaritch's real mission, Bug shows Quaritch Navi culture. Quaritch is likewise effectively ready to tame an Ikran flying animal as his vehicle. Realizing the peril, Insect's information on his whereabouts stances to their security and furthermore to keep away from another disaster, Jake persuades a hesitant Neytiri and his family to exile themselves from the Omadakaya group and retreat toward the eastern seaboard of Metkayana, a coral reef island whose tribe and way of life is adjusted to Pandora's oceanic living space. Jake gives his central mantle to his replacement and passes on altogether to Metkayana. Once showed up, they are welcomed by the family boss Tonawari and his significant other Ronal, who is suspicious of them at first. Nonetheless, Jake makes sense of their circumstance and they are consented to remain and given cover. Despite the fact that a few tribesmen ridicule Jake and his kids for their hereditary human legacy, the family learns the